first came to the Republic of Ireland, I worked in early years and wasn't aware of the childcare committees at all until I applied for the job with one. So every county in Ireland has a childcare committee, and what they do at local level is that they coordinate childcare programmes that are funded by the Department of Children, and then they'll also work with all of the early years educators within an area, and it depends what the government wants the initiative to be. So at the minute we're all working really hard in Children First and child protection training for educators. But depending on your county and I suppose the interest within your committee, there are a number of initiatives that may improve the quality of childcare. Or in Fingal, what we've been looking at really is enriching and enhancing early literacy and early numeracy. So we'll talk a little bit about that today, and some more specific projects and specific examples of that. So we've a couple of projects. So one of them is called the Bedtime Book Club. It's one of my personal favourites, right? So the Bedtime Book Club is where we loan out. We have about 16 sets of books, so they're all favourites. So this one here, I'm sure you all recognise it, the Gruffalo. Another nice one, Peace at Last, for any parents in the room.
Good for bedtime.
Excellent. And then we've some classics like We're Going on a Bear Hunt. I've got The Tiger Who Came to Tea, and Farmer Duck is a nice one too. So what we do is, in Fingal, we bought some of these books. We got a wee bit of money from the lottery, and we bought sets of books. So we would buy 2 big books, you know, the big giant ones, and then 30 sets of each of the small ones. And we loan these out to our childcare services, and they will spend, one of the sheets that comes up is a planning sheet, you'll see it, and they will spend a week where their whole curriculum and all their activities is based around all the things in the book.
Okay.
Now the best part is the children get to take the book home, and they bring it home every evening and they keep it for the week or 2 weeks, it just depends. Now there may be did I hear a sharp intake of breath? Because I think when you give preschoolers books, people think, well, you're not getting them back, they're not coming back in. We have lost 2 books so far, that's it, and we've loaned them out. They've been on cycles of over 500. These are all books that have been with children and in homes, and they're in perfect condition. So the children bring them home, their parents read it to them, maybe every night or maybe just once, but the practice between home and school is utterly connected. We find that whenever children are engaged in this programme, that when their parents say, what did you do in preschool today, the answer isn't always nothing. Okay, so you know that one? What did you do in preschool today? Nothing. Why are we paying so much for it? They do nothing. Okay, but the parents always have something to talk to the children about. So, and they can talk to them about Farmer Duck, or they can borrow toys and activities and sort things. So that is a really small scale project. As I say, we only have like 15 sets of the books, but we have service who consistently loan them out. But to hear parents talking about the relationships with their children, it's actually quite moving. You talk about getting to know their child through play. You talk about understanding them. They talk about developing learning opportunities or approaches to materials that they didn't have the opportunity to do. And also that youthful piece about playing. You know, I don't know if anybody saw, there was a lovely video this week of oh, his name's just gone out of my head, the Gleeson brothers, and you know, their daddy Brendan Gleeson's an actor. You'd have to look it up, it's wonderful, but it's them as grown-ups, but they go back to playing like children, okay? And this is what we did with the parents. The parents got to play like they were children. Our educator workshops on this topic, we didn't use loads of PowerPoint and activities and materials. We brought in our educators and we said, let's play. It was wonderful. And that experience and the joy of that then cannot help but be transferred to children and parents again. There's obvious economic challenges in terms of resourcing and activities and materials. You know, and in some ways we got lucky. We didn't have to pay for a bus driver. We knew a bus driver. We made the most of the resources we had. But I think probably one of the biggest challenges for me is that we find that our early years services, that is the first door often that parents knock on. It's the first real engagement they have with education. And I suppose one of the biggest challenges for us is that our educators and practitioners are not given time to enhance those relationships. They don't have time to deliver parent evenings, open sessions. They're not paid for it. You know, all this additional planning and extra work that happens in some of our services, people do that because they care deeply about children. But within the early years sectors, a lot of this work goes unnoticed. You know, like we have had a year of being bombarded with, you know, per reports about creches and practice. When actually, you know, we have thousands of children every day in Fingal anyway, who go to services that are well staffed, well resourced. They have really enriched curriculums and excellent learning opportunities for children. And I think that that needs to be acknowledged, because all this costs money and you need staff. I think the other piece as well is that, you know, children are so incredible at, and we touched on TV and media devices, right? I'm brilliant at eating cake. That does not mean that I should do it for 4 hours a day, right? And it's very much the same for children and media devices. Yes, they are good at them. They are developed to be intuitive, but they are not supportive of their development in the same way as our interactions and our play. We learn, we are mammals. We are just little mammals. We're products of evolution. We learn from one another. That's how we have, you know, been created. And we cannot replace that with television, with, you know, media. Now, How My Kid Learn, the NALA site, it has some wonderful ideas in which we can enhance it, but it's not just an online platform. It's ideas about how to play. What are the nursery rhymes that work really well? Counting activities. So how to bring those ideas away from you. So there are ideas out there, but nothing compensates for the parent-child interaction, for the play, the getting outdoors. And I think that's the key challenge. Like, we're seeing some of the figures from Growing Up in Ireland and different longitudinal studies showing that very high percentages, you know, 25% of children require speech and language therapy. Well, we don't have those services. So perhaps what we need to do is start thinking about, how do we enrich our households? How do we enrich our schools? How do we enrich our families? And really then making that transition into education really successful. So there's a couple of things. Like, there's brilliant resources in Ireland. Like, this is gorgeous. I don't know if you know the Bernardo's Learning Together, completely free. Okay, so if you're working with families, you can call Bernardo's and get this for free. Lovely, colourful book that tells you all about children's development, their emotional development, their gross motor development, and tips and ideas on how to support and improve it. And then another wee thing, it's lovely that it's a parent's guide to early childhood. This is a wee pack that we developed in Fingal, but we've made it available across Ireland. Anyone can have it. We're not precious like that. And for those of you who speak Irish, it's available in Irish as well. And this is a preschool passport. Okay, so we know transitions are really important for children. Okay, so transition into primary school and on to secondary school. And do you know, it was like the Department of Education was spying on us at the time, because they now have a passport for moving from primary to secondary. Yeah, I should monetize all my best ideas. But anyway, what our preschool passport does is it ask parents to give a creche or preschool some information about the child, and to document it, and to have conversations, triangulation between the centre, the parents and the children. And I'd ask the preschool provider then to document some of the children's learning experience. It's only 4. Like, this is basic, you know, just light touch throughout the year, so that there's something to talk about and something to reflect back on. And then, like, just even little things, like we put in some ideas about our top 5 books and our top 5 rhymes and songs. And that's something we would develop, you know, especially in the run up to Christmas. We're doing a real toy show where we talk to parents about the toys children actually like. Right? There's 2 top sellers this year, don't get them, right? One's this dinosaur, that's all it does, okay? One's a dinosaur and one's Elsa and Anna, not Anna, Anna. Right? They'll be bored of it by the end of Christmas. We sometimes ask our providers, what are the favourite toys? What do children love? Do you want to know what they love? Okay. So they love boxes. They love, you can see the treasure basket, that's one of their favourites. And then for our preschool rooms, building, magnets, connects, Legos. And their favourite thing in the preschools is the library.
the library.
The children love the books.